teeth grin on an overpass. The silver drizzle on the tracks, yeah. Your Sunday nickname is a gold-plated scar. We tip our hats at the lobby bar, yeah.
So Jay and Mitch, first time I'm meeting you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to be met, my friend. Jay Martini, you and I go back to the days of School of Rock when you were teaching my dumbass how to play bass in a rock and roll band, get ass smoked by Peter Dankelson and the crew.
Right. And that was right during COVID, too.
It was right before COVID, man.
Oh, before COVID.
It was right before COVID, yeah. So, I think Dankelson was like 16 years old at the time, and I think you guys were trying to pair me up with him, and he ran me off. Jay, you reached out to me, and the topic was AI, and you have something cooking with artificial intelligence, using it to maybe not be a musician, but to compose. Maybe that'll get people less pissed at me when I talk about AI and on this show. Talk to me what you've been up to, Jay, what you're working on, and the projects that you got going on you're going to talk about.
Well, first of all, Mitch and I have been playing together for a good 25 years, and we started out together in this band called Big Witness, which played covers and originals. That was in the 2000, 2005 time frame. That band broke up, as they all do. And then towards 2010, myself and Mitch were trying to think of what we wanted to do in order to get a big sound in a small footprint area. So we decided to form this venture called Opening Night. It was kind of a smooth jazz, acid jazz type deal. We made a CD which has sold quite a few, well, probably about 8 copies in Romania. We released it on CD Baby. You remember that back then?
I do remember CD Baby.
Okay, so what it turned out to be, we played a couple gigs, we made the CD. The technology, we were ahead of the technology.
Yeah.
No two ways about it. So we kind of put that to bed. But about, I would say between 6 and 9 months ago, Mitch and I kind of discovered Suno at about the same time. And they were in only the first generation. Isn't that right, Mitch?
Yeah, it was, I think, version 4, maybe. It
Yeah,
was really early.
We've gone through 2 or 3 versions. And so we started working with it and trying to stay ahead of the curve. But boy, oh boy, they would throw curves at us. And we really didn't know how to do it. That's the bottom line there. And the bottom line is Suno has styles box where you can put in prompts where it should do what you tell it to do.
Yeah.
But we aren't a computer. That's the other thing. And the other thing is a lyrics box.
Yeah.
Where you put your lyrics in and they put it all into a song. Sounds great. Not so much in practice. We had some horrendous first efforts where we'd say, this is how we want it to sound, blah, blah, blah. It would come out either sounding like Michael Bublé or Scott Stapp, one or the other. There wasn't anything in between. For kind of a softer song, it would be Bublé, and for an angst-filled diatribe, it would be Scott Stapp. And so we had some pretty, I don't know, it was still fun because it's always fun to scream at a computer.
Yeah.
You're wasting my time, that type of thing. But where do we go to from there, Mitch?
Well, what we were when I'll go back to opening night a little bit. What we were trying to do was we made a bunch of music beds of other musicians playing a song, and then we would play with those beds. So very similar to what a lot of people are doing today. We were doing back 15, 20 years ago. So when Suno came along, it was kind of like the computer version of other musicians to play with. And then you could kind of add your own ideas. That was the intention. But it seemed like every time in the beginning when we started to get going, it would only come up with like two versions of the song, and they were very bad versions every time. So then we start going, oh, maybe we have to work on our prompts. So then you go on YouTube and you look at about 1 billion videos, and you try to figure out, how do you tell this Suno to make a song kind of what you're thinking of and stop it from kind of defaulting, which is what it was doing a lot. So we ended up taking a lot of time working on our prompts, telling it what we want, but you had to know a little bit of music theory. Otherwise, it wasn't going to listen to you. It actually ignored you. If you said, as being a drummer, I would say, I don't want any flams and I want chorus bass pedals. And they never came out, or it did 1 million flams instead. So that's kind of what we're dealing with.
Mitch and Jay, do you think it would be helpful if we just did a real quick shared screen? I can pop it up right now just so everybody could see what everybody is afraid of.
It's great.
All right.
Sure. Pick your poison.
Yeah. All right, here we go. So make me a song about Bongo Mike, Chris, Rhodesy, Rhodes, Jay and Mitch, and AI music. Has to be 230. Lyrics have to add up. What kind of style you like, Rhodesy?
Let's go modern country.
Modern country.
I just want to say that I finally found somebody that types worse than me.
Well, you don't have to really type that good. Take this, going over here, put in the song title, going over here, style, modern country, blah, blah, blah.
You're a whiz.
And let's see.
Yeah, he's put a lot of time into this.
Yeah, I can tell.
Let's see. What's the lyrics? I don't know what the lyrics are. I don't. All I know is that. Oh,
it's to do with cannibalism.
That's good enough. And we put it right in here. Create. And let's see. Processing, and then something will pop up here. It'll give you two choices to choose from.
It's version. Judging you, Pete, right now.
Yeah.
It came up this weekend, and I actually said something. Looking back at all of the artists that have won Grammys, had chart positions, and all of that stuff, half of those people that sang those songs didn't write those songs in the first place. Who cares if AI wrote the song? If you play it, who cares? Who wrote it? Does it really matter? Did Mariah Carey write all her hits? Now? Yeah, I can hear it now.
We can hear it.
Yeah.
Bongo Mike found a rhythm way out on the road. Chris
It's a hit.
On the 6-string playing.
It'll be line dancing at Sundance.
Yes.
Jay walked in.
Send it to
That gives you another one. So you let it go, and now they updated it where it has the intro, verse, chorus, and all that, which Jay Martini and Mitch know more than I would ever know about how to create music. But, you don't like those two? Hit the create button. And here's another two that's created. See if you like those any better. So,
well, you can go in it. You can go into each one of those and fine tune them, right?
Yeah.
Each verse, you can actually break it down and then refine it there, and then.
Well, if you have the professional version, there's a studio version which costs more than the pro version that we have, but the studio version, they actually have a DAW right in there in it, what
Yeah.
we do, and I'll talk, and Mitch and I can talk about this, but we extract these stems, which are the tracks. Once we find something that we kind of like and it's
Yeah.
worth working on, we extract the stems into Cubase, and then we work the individual tracks from there. And that seems to have worked well for us. The main problem is to actually, get something that's worth working on.
Yeah.
And sometimes you hit it and sometimes you don't. I have to say, with Dystopian Charm, the song that Mitch and I literally wrote, started from scratch not more than 2 weeks ago. And
you know what? I'm going to put it right here, Jay. I want everybody to hear it. Okay.
Glass teeth grin on an overpass. The silver drizzle on the tracks, yeah. Your Sunday nickname is a gold-plated scar. We tip our hats at the lobby bar, yeah.
That's pretty good, man. That's some sweet jazz. Is that jazz, Jay? Help me out.
Well, and there's a little story behind it.
All right.
One of the things that we found out, a hack, if you will, that gets those prompts to do what you want it to do. Mitch and I were talking right off the bat, and he said, well, damn, maybe we should just have a computer talking to Suno. Well, one of the hacks was, you go to ChatGPT or any other good AI engine, you have to first tell it to respond like a professional audio engineer and a musicologist. And then, and this is the real important part, because ChatGPT does not have the problems that Suno has with being in court with everybody under the sun, you can give ChatGPT a song and an artist and say, respond per the characteristics of the song, acting like a professional audio engineer and a musicologist. So we picked, this is full disclosure now, we picked the song Home at Last off of the Asia album from Steely Dan. It kind of came out more sounding like Babylon Sisters off the Gaucho album, especially towards the end when you have the repeating girl chorus.
Yeah.
But so we did that. But this is all a song that I came up with. First the hook, then the intro, the verse, the pre-chorus, and the chorus. I kind of stopped with that. They all have their own little thing, their own little nuance. Unbeknownst to me, I had just sent it over to Mitch. Hey, well, what do you think about this? Maybe you can figure out a groove for me. No, he goes and he puts that into Suno. He puts my phone video into Suno along with the prompts for ostensibly Home at Last, plus I had written the lyrics for the whole song. And how I did that, I went into this, I think it's called AI Banana lyrics generator. And I put just the title, Dystopian Charm. I mean, what could be wrong with that? And what came out was some of the most disturbing crap I've ever seen in my life that wasn't swearing. And I said, not only am I not going to be able to sing this, but it's really disturbing. So I had to take a couple hours and tone it down, get words that made sense so I wasn't tongue-tied when I was singing. And we threw all that into Suno. And what came out, what you just heard, is pretty much from that. So it's definitely my music. They had all the grooves, all the chord progressions, especially the riff. The riff, what they did great on the riff is they synced up the kick drum to the bop, bop, ba, and it was a masterstroke by whatever's inside the computer because it was fantastic. And
Jay, that's not music, man. You're not a musician.
No, I'm not. It did all the work, but that was how it started. And I think, and Mitch might agree with me, that in order to get the best work, you kind of got to put your own stuff in there. Now, I only put, as I said, hook, intro, verse, pre-chorus, and chorus in there. But I put the lyrics for the whole song and told them, figure out a solo, a solo or bridge, something. And that's what they did.
Well, here's something that's fascinating. I watched a gospel producer, and he must have that studio version you guys were talking about. So what he's been doing is he's been going back through all the recordings he's made over the last 30 years. He's pulling out the reel-to-reels. He's pulling out the old tapes and all that stuff. And he's running it all through that program, and it's cleaning it up. And he's literally just sitting there laughing because he cannot believe how amazing all this stuff sounds from those days. He's like, man, we should just rehash this and try and resell it.
We did that too with a couple of songs, and it made them better. It was like you're working with a really good producer and some really good, collaborating with some really good musicians. And it was maybe good 20 years ago, but it's almost modernized and better now. Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah. And to Jay's point too, using AI in the office, once you learn to talk to it, boy, man, you can get results quick.
What we got out of Suno was great, except again, the vocals sounded like Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé talking about, your salvation and lullabies to dust. And no, he was doing it. So we had to, once we got it into Cubase, we took out his vocals and put my non-Bublé voice in there. And I don't know, it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun what came in. We tried to separate it, but I'll tell you, other than adding, Mitch, what did we do? We added some horns in the bridge, and then we kind of reworked the end. So we had those girl singers singing Toast the Wreckage like 4 times. I wanted it like 20 times, and I wanted a long fade out, just like there is on Babylon Sisters, when the girl singers are singing, you got to shake it, baby. You got to shake it, baby. You got to shake your head. And they're doing that. They did that live. And I remember hearing Donald Fagen say, we had to run that a couple times. If someone got the inflection just wrong, we had to do the whole thing over. And they were animals in the studio. So this just made it a lot easier. We duped it, put it in the right spot, maybe EQ'd it a little bit to get it a little more clarity. And there we were. And I said, man, this isn't too bad.
You and Mitch have been doing this for a while. And Jay, I have great respect for you because I've seen what you've done. I've seen how you've molded adult bands. You herded the cats over at School of Rock over in Libertyville. And when I think musician, I think of you. This AI version that's getting everybody so pissed, I think not generation, but maybe a decade, some technology that comes up that people say, oh, that's not real. And I always point to the Moog synthesizer. Is that a fair reference to point to like Suno and AI today and then the synthesizers back in the 70s and 80s? Would you say, was there outrage back there?
Well, when the Moog came in, I think the first it It was Emerson, Lake and Palmer,
Stevie Wonder?
Lucky Man. But before that, there was an album called Switched on Bach, which used synth. But that was like 1968. I was 11 years old. So I don't know if there was any furor at the time. I don't know if the only way I'd compare it is just by saying that it was something new. I mean, Moog was an instrument, but you could program a Moog. So I think purists in 1968 or 69 were more against that than the actual sound itself. And it took a lot. I think, Emerson and Greg Lake, they came up with a perfect usage of that right off the bat. And it just seemed to be mixed and it sat in the track very well. And everyone's going, hey, what is that? For this is global. This is, what it does for us. And, it just speeds up the time for us. We could bring in other musicians. We'd have to call in favors. And then we might have to do it, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And then everyone gets a little bit antsy. I don't see that much of a correlation there.
Okay. But it's the human behind it, and then the tool that you use. Maybe you're not a musician, but you can be a composer. Is that a better word?
It certainly could be, but the thing is, if you throw something into Suno just from a riff and a lyric, which can be done.
Yeah.
Once it comes out, if you only give it that, it's probably not going to be too good. What that person, once it comes tennis ball back to you, you have to, all right, what do we do with it now? I think Mitch and I are kind of at the point where we have to get the wheat through the chaff, or the chaff through the wheat. Sorry.
But when you're a music teacher, and when you teach people music, they don't get it right the first time, do they?
No, they never do. They rarely do.
You have to train them, right? You have to
train them. And one good thing, I don't want to get off, but one thing that School of Rock did well before they started having textbooks and everything, our boss, John Zabel, he said, just teach them what you know. If you know chord patterns and how to read a chord chart, that's fine. And I would say that's a way you're going to be in the rock band. You don't learn it by just playing scales, man. So they let me do that for, the 4 years that I was there. And I think a lot of people learned that. The kids didn't practice as much as I thought they should, but I had to keep my lips shut on that. You have to give them what they want. Mitch, you might want to talk about that. How does that work? What are Suno's ears like? What do they want?
Well, it's a tool, right? Let's make that very clear up front. It's not the whole band, and it actually isn't very creative on its own, or what it comes up with or what it thinks is creative is pretty generic. And that's because of the language models that it's using is fairly limited at this point. That's why Suno is negotiating with all the copyright and publishing companies to expand Suno's understanding and knowledge so it can do better at creating songs. But in general, I think you have to have a certain amount of music theory. I think that makes a difference, because it does listen when you talk to it like a musicologist. If you talk to it just like, hey dude, I would like a really cool funky song, it's not going to work.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. So you really have to kind of, use the right tool for the right job. Kind of the same thing. It kind of goes back to drum machines, right? I mean, that was a big furor. When drum machines came out, everybody thought drummers were going to be eliminated. When was that?
You got my interest. When tracks, drum machines, and all that. When did that come out?
Yeah, that was the 80s. Really, the LinnDrum, I think, was one of the first programmable drum machines. Not very good sounds, but it was different. And it made people listen, and it caught their attention. and it still was a human behind it programming the rhythm. You know, the Linn machine didn't actually make any rhythms on its own. So that's why I kind of look at Suno is you've got to put the human into the machine in order to get something human-like coming out.
So Mitch, the fear, talk to me about when something new comes along, people are naturally defensive. The adaption, they don't want to break their routine. They've been doing something so long because look, when you've been successful at something, you got a routine, you know, you're going to show up at a gig at this time, you're going to drink this before the show, you're going to, you know, you got your whole thing set up, and then something comes in and disrupts it, and it's like, oh man, no, this ain't part of it. Do you think this is like when the drum tracks were coming out, or this is bigger disruptor?
No, I think the word disruption is it actually comes from your point of view. I look at it as an enhancement to what we were thinking of doing. And some people get threatened by new things. And when the drum machines first came out, being a drummer, I was a little worried because it could play a heck of a lot better than I could.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, oh crap, now what am I going to do? But I think it's important for everybody to just kind of embrace this technology as much or as little as you want to and collaborate with it. Don't think of it as something that's going to take over. Think of it as a collaborator, because that's kind of what the drum machines turned into.
Jay and I have been going back and forth for a while talking about this. You know, he's got his projects, and then you know that you need a hook, you need a chorus, you need the lyrics, you know, the components of the puzzle, and to put them in the right places. If you know that, can't you come up with a product that is unique and original that a musician could play on stage at a performance that people could like and have something new out there, something different? And that's kind of where my idea of, you know, SOO YES or SOO YES, however you want to say it, is the people that know music, know what it takes, the feedback from the crowd, whatever it is, you try something, it doesn't work, throw it out, and rotate some songs through and get something new and fresh coming through town, because musicians tell me this is going to replace their jobs, and I think that's the wrong attitude. The attitude is the really good ones, this will make them 40 times better than what they were, and the ones that aren't very good or don't have a process or system, you're going to see that when the tide goes out, you're going to see who's wearing shorts or not. Well, am I looking at that right? Do you think we could have something like that, a product out there?
Well, first of all, I mean, what are you envisioning as far as, are you envisioning a song, for example, like we did Dystopian Charm? Are you talking about a band that you hire learning that song and playing it live? Is that, or are you talking about playing to tracks?
I would say have the band play it, have the band get a cut of it, and give them a chance to play regionally or nationally with it, because it's unique, you know. And
well, it's unique, but I think I go back to a good song is a good song is a good song, and really, what constitutes a good song? Is it mean it's popular, or it's got that hook? It's hard to say these days.
Whatever trips over the algorithm, that's kind of why I think you need volume, because who the hell knows what's going to make it these days? Is that a possible market for people that are saying that, well, unless you're either you're Live Nation or you're nothing, to go out and see an act, because people are complaining nobody's going out to see live music anymore?
I don't know if that's the key. It could be. I mean, a year ago, I didn't know I'd be doing this. I mean, I didn't know the capabilities, but Mitch and I see a real, just a plethora of possibilities here of what at least we can do. And that's why Mitch and I, we didn't really form a company where we just have a YouTube channel, and it was shown at the end of our video.
What's the name of the channel? What's the name of the channel, Jay?
Deus Ex Machina, and it's Latin for God and the Machine. So
say it one more time.
Deus Ex Machina.
Okay. Deus. All right, Day. I
And
got.
it's where musicians and AI peacefully coexist.
That's not possible,
So,
Jay. What are you
so,
talking?
so Jay, are you guys have, besides the one song that you're doing now, you're in the process of doing more songs and adding more ideas to? No, you haven't done that?
Oh yeah, no, we
Well,
have. We do
okay.
one song at a time. We don't do an album at a time. Our
Right.
our thing was we do a lot of remote work, but then when we get together, we want to have a finished song at the end of the day. We take 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours. We break for lunch, come back. We want to have a song by the end of the day. We
Yeah.
pass it back and forth until our ears are satisfied with it, and then we put it on. So, but I think that at least moving forward, we're going to go with original material consisting of a hook, intro, all that stuff through the first chorus, and then do lyrics for a whole song, give it a reference point, give Suno a reference point through ChatGPT as to what we want it to sound like, because hello boys, everything is derivative. There's only 12 or 13 notes. They've been used in every way, shape, or form. And so if you come up with a hook, anybody that's writing a song can't help but think, man, this sounds like Edgar Winter, or this sounds like the Smithereens, or something like that. And you can actually tell Suno, if you do it the right way, I want this composition of mine to sound similar and to be produced similar to this reference song. And Suno doesn't have the reference song in their prompt, but they can take the words and all the descriptive adjectives that ChatGPT comes up with, put it in there, and for the most part, come up with something similar to what we want.
Mitch,
I mean,
what do you think, man? How are you going to make some money doing this?
yeah,
Well,
Mitch, how are we going to do that?
Okay, so
You're the
let's
money
just
man.
let's be real. No one's going to make a whole lot of money doing any music at all anymore. That's gone.
Are you an American or Americant, Mitch? I'm disappointed with you. Continue.
I'm an American, but I'm also a realist. How many songs are put on the internet every day? Is it
Through Suno,
100,000?
7 million a day.
So what are the odds of actually, being kind of boiling up or bubbling up to the top of that 7 million? Pretty low. So why don't we look at it for what we are today, which are a bunch of musicians who like making music, who like to express our ideas in certain ways. And we've got this great partner from the internet that's going to help us kind of make our ideas better. Because like what Jay said, we'll give it a basic idea. We think we got something here. Hey, Suno, why don't you help us make it even better? Now, are you going to make money doing that? I don't know. I'm not very optimistic about that. But are we really? Have any of us ever made a whole lot of money playing in bands
or podcasts?
Yeah,
touche.
But
I made more money selling pot when I was in high
I did
school.
all right a couple times after 150 gigs in a year.
But as a tool, Mitch, and I'll ask anybody to pop in here, because we had Dan Peters on, and he was talking about going on stage with his guitar and a DJ, combining the two, because the younger kids, the EDM, mixing the guitar and the DJ together. If you would have something like that and then use AI to make something, maybe that's what the future holds. I don't know. I just know that there's always going to be something newer, different, better, and there's a learning curve. And the people that put up with the learning curve now, meaning like it can be frustrating, man, because you'll work on something. I know this happened to both of you, Jay and Mitch. You're working on something, you shut down the computer, you come back, and it forgets whatever the hell you were talking about, and you got to almost start from zero again. That's not what I wanted. that turns people off and then they quit. So if you're persistent and you stay at it, it's no different than like, me playing the bass. Okay, I don't know music, but I do know that here are the tabs, and I'm just going to keep playing this GD thing till I figure out the song till it's over. And that's why people don't play a musical instrument, because they don't stick with it long enough to go get over the rough times to figure it out. Is that a fair analogy or comparison?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what are the ingredients of any successful endeavor? Patience, perseverance, and and collaboration typically.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what you do.
And we're collaborating we made it a point on this one to collaborate at every juncture. I mean, when you said, even after you said we're going to do this podcast and we decided to come up with the song, then you said, oh, by the way, we need a video.
Yeah.
And so Mitch and I are going, and all right, let's see if we can figure it out. So just one day I said, I went to another AI engine, Gemini, off of Google, and I had it from the lyrics storyboard a song with 30 images for the 5-minute song. So it would have to pick and give me descriptors for it. Mm-hmm. So that's what it did. And we took those descriptors, or I did, and put that into one by one into the Gemini engine to create an image based on that. Now, Gemini's images, and from those of you saw the video, they're interesting images, but they're kind of all the same. And so in the future, we're going to be improving on that. And I think I told you, Pete, that the video for an AI song, or any song really, but an AI song that in AI influenced, not enhanced, was influenced. I think the video is a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Do you know how many hits you've gotten on that video?
Well, we haven't made it public yet.
No, we just released.
He's breaking it on this show, Bongo Mike. We
just broke it, baby.
Oh, okay.
That's how you get maximum impact. So I'm going to go answer the door now. I think some agents are there.
Yeah, you guys have been in music so long, and you're taking up this new tool and using it. And I don't know if it's embracing it, but if you're a true music aficionado, if anything can enhance what you know and do, you're going to try it and use it, and that's what you guys are doing. And it's still in its infancy, right?
It is, so I took one when Mitch and I came out with the audio for it. I sent it to a friend of mine. He lives in Evanston. He does soundtracks for movies and documentaries, and I'd send him some other stuff that we did, and his ears are great. And so he gave me little pointers. This one, he said, I hate you. I hate you because it sounds so good. And I know you didn't spend any outside time. I told him, full disclosure again, I told him when it come out of Suno, we really didn't have to do much in the mixing of individual tracks or mastering or the EQ or anything. We really didn't have to do much. And that was a first. And I think that's due to the specificity of the prompt that we gave to ChatGPT, which gave it to Suno. And I think that had a lot to do with it.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point. It's not just arranging words. It's not just putting instruments in there. It's also adding production value. Reverb, open-ended, tight drums, Rhodes piano. It's putting all those kind of production elements together for you as well. Could we have done that on our own? Maybe, but it sure, it only took us a couple hours to get this thing going. And we didn't have anybody else, in the studio, and we weren't mixing individual tracks. All we were doing was just kind of putting frosting on the cake and shining it up.
Because you guys have it all up in here. You have a process. You have the skins, the cred. You know it, and this is helping speed up that process, right?
Right.
And the people that don't have a process is, I think, are the ones that are having an issue with it. Now, what do you guys think the future looks like? I mean, you've seen evolutions of things that happen over time. Part of this AI thing is you're going to be able to choose your own experience, whether it's music, a movie, or whatever. Hey, I feel like experiencing this right now. Make it happen for me. Voila. I know it's like so crazy, but just like we've shown with music, it's going to happen with video. But what do you think? Do you think anything will ever change from people going out to see a live act? I don't think so, but I'm just wondering what you guys think.
I don't think so. I think right now what Suno AI is doing in the studio, I don't think that's gonna, at least at this point, affect anything with going out to see something live. I think I don't think I don't know if you were to say I got a band playing some great AI influenced songs. I don't know if people are going to come out anyway to see it. What I think will happen though is right now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. There's a definite stigma attached to those that are using AI. I've heard numerous reports. I haven't talked to Peter down in Nashville, but I know that some heavy players are using Suno all the time, and they won't admit to it. Okay. All right. But what I think is going to happen, I originally said 5 years, but maybe it'll be 2 years. I don't think there'll be a difference between produced songs. They might, I don't think AI influenced or purist or whatever the hell they're going to call it. I don't think there'll be a difference. I really don't. I think it's going to be too ubiquitous. I really do.
I got to look that word up. But
it's gonna be all over.
Okay, so
every place.
The local bands that we have on the show that play covers and whatnot, why wouldn't they just put in a couple originals that were influenced by this and then include that in the set?
I would.
Absolutely. Why not? Yeah, absolutely.
That was my point.
Yeah. It's just another tool to help you make some music. And if people like your song, they're going to like your song, whether it was AI generated or human generated. A good song's a good song.
I mean, I'm not talking about Tupac and a hologram here. I'm talking about real live people on stage playing the music.
That's my point I was making, though, Pete. It doesn't matter who wrote the song. If you're up on stage performing, it doesn't really matter who wrote it. Bob Dylan could have wrote it. Nobody gives a shit.
Distribution costs now are zero. Okay, so again, is it a volume thing? Does your TikTok hit? It is a lot of luck of the draw, and you do have to be. You need all those things to happen at once, and that's what I think people don't understand. You just have to keep at it, and keep moving product, because Jay and Mitch, it took you how many hours to get that song out?
From start to finish, I mean, it was probably under 10 hours of work from creation to finish. Took an extra 3 hours for the video, but
yeah. Okay.
And speaking about live, I talked to you about this, Pete.
Yeah.
I debuted this song last Thursday night at Shirley's piano bar, playing it solo. Boy, talking about, I don't think I was walking into a lion's den, but, Beth Miller, she's great. She's, been a champion of what I've been doing. She said, yeah, come and play at the piano bar. So I thought it would be all piano players. No, the other three players that were there that night were 30-something guitarists, and they had their own songs. They had their own sets. And here I come with my one song with my lyric sheet, and I played it, and I did feel that I had to have, again, full disclosure. So as I was kind of announcing the song and what I do, I said how I got the lyrics together. So
Yeah.
they would know that it's somewhat AI influenced, at least the lyrics were. I didn't want to get into everything else. So to a man, they were very nice. The guy that went on after me, Tony Earlers, a great guitarist, great player, interesting songs. And he had come up to me before he went. I said, "Man, I really like your song." So he's playing, and he's, "I'm going to play one more song." And I'm sitting right in front, and he says, "It's called Real or Fake." And he was looking right at me, you know, and he played it. And again, good song, real good
Yeah.
song. And so the day after, I shot him an email, just kind of talking to him and so forth. And I didn't hear anything until about an hour ago. And he comes back. He said, "Yeah, he gave the same arguments. The same arguments about how musicians are going to lose their jobs." And I'm going to email him back. And he was very pleasant.
Tell him to come on the show.
Absolutely, and have him play. He's a really, really good player, and I think he probably spanned, in the 6 songs he did, maybe 4 different genres, from rockabilly to jazz to blues, and he kind of knew it all. It sounded like he had an old soul.
Yeah.
So,
But getting back to your work, your first baby, it took, say, 10 to 12 hours. Your second baby is going to probably take 8 to 10. Your third
not necessarily. I think Mitch and I kind of caught lightning in a bottle here, because we have, since we finished up with Dystopian Charm, we have said, "Oh, this, what we did works. It must work every time." Not so fast. We tried a couple more times throwing songs in there. Let's see. Have you ever heard of the acid jazz band Down to the Bone? Instrumental.
You acid jazz, I tuned out.
You lost him at acid jazz.
Okay, well, anyways, it didn't come out very well. And then what song did we do? Mitch, what was the other one we sent in for a reference point? That's Genesis song.
Oh, right. Duchess by Genesis, and what came out was, a turd in the punch bowl. It was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Well, I think the key here is, though, okay, so it took you roughly 10 hours to get the song done. At the end of the day, what would have taken, had you put the musicians in the studios, wrote this all yourself, went through, it would have taken you a hell of a lot longer. So
Days.
even if you're not, according to Pete, making it easier and easier, the more you keep doing it, it's not going to happen. It's probably going to still take you 10 hours, maybe 15 hours to do another song, but it's still a hell of a lot less time than it would be if you did it organically in a studio with real musicians, bringing in backup singers and horn players and getting charts and telling them how to do it. I mean,
exactly. And I think
it just cut the time down.
I think that also we're going to call ourselves AI purists. How about that? And we will compose the song on our own and compose the groove, and then find a reference song that we want it to sound like, and then we'll put that all in with lyrics that some narcissistic lyrics generator comes out with, and then we fix, and then we put all that in, and we'll see what comes out. I think we're still going to hit no more than a 50% success rate. And the thing is, we're going to only extract it out of Suno and into Cubase for us to really work if it's halfway decent to begin with.
How was the reception from the rest of the people besides the musicians when you played that song?
They liked it. They really liked it. They kind of liked my story. I think all the other 3 players are definitely purists. They might not understand what Suno and AI can be done as a tool, and they just think, well, it's not me. I mean, I've released a couple things. We released a couple things on our YouTube channel, and a couple of my musician friends, hey, that should have been me playing on it. Why didn't you ask me? Well, because we didn't. You know what? How much more can? And we wanted it done fast, and I think we definitely know the difference between fast and good. Okay?
Yeah.
We aren't going to jack around with something that has two strikes against it, and we're going to really have to stir the cauldron in order to make even something passable. We can throw it into Suno really as many times as we want, or change the lyric, or change what we put in there ourselves as far as a hook, or put different adjectives in the prompt, or use a whole different reference song, for God's sakes, and just have different permutations come out. And then we say, does this sound good? And you definitely need 4 years for that, because I don't trust myself anymore. I really don't. And I know Mitch doesn't trust himself. So
help me out. Okay. This isn't Milli Vanilli. Okay. This is,
right.
Help me out with Bad Bunny and auto tune. Okay. Is Bad Bunny a real musician? And you take away the auto tune, what do you got? And he's doing the Super Bowl. To me, look, live your life however you want to live it. I'm going to live however I want to live it. This is something new that's going to come out. I'm going to try it and see what I can do with it and see what happens. And I talk to people all the time, obviously with this podcast and offline, and these are people that are under 30 years of age and saying, well, it's not me, it's not this, and it's not that, it won't do this. Have you ever been to Suno? No. Okay. That's it. It's whoever embraces it. I think, Jay and Mitch, you're 10 hours. I'm making a prediction to you both because you guys are freaking geniuses. Right now, you're just learning a language. You're learning Russian, okay? And eventually you're going to be fluent in it. And you're going to be producing this stuff, bam, 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 bam. And people are going to, I'm sorry, you got the ear, okay? The ear in the old days, it's a record label. You would hear somebody in Detroit, they'd say that's a hit. Okay. What, pattern recognition? That's what AI is pattern recognition. Okay. Now you got you two guys. I think you guys are going to kill it. I don't know about acid jazz. I can't comment on that, boys, but I think your genre that you focus on, I think you guys are going to kill it. So I can't wait. And Jay and Mitch, you have an open invite anytime you guys want to come back on. One more time, Jay, where do we send people to check out your? Because you were speaking Latin to me, and then I tuned out.
It is the YouTube channel Deus Ex Machina. That's DEUS EXMACHINA, where AI and musicians peacefully coexist. And we eventually want to, start discourse with musicians that want to do this. And we are not going to say you shouldn't do it. Bring it on, bring it to us. And I think as hard as this is right now to get something really good, Mitch and I are going to hopefully provide a service that for the normal person that wants a Suno enhanced song, that they can send it to us, and for a billable hour, we can fix it up for them and make them.
You got the ear. You got the ear. Bongo Mike, I think we have some very critical artificial intelligence questions that we need to ask these gentlemen.
Good, man. This is the best part. Well, first of all, I have to mention it to Jay, because him and I talked about it last year. We had a couple of shows that we were doing, and we were talking about The Guess Who. I just want to, Jay, are you going to the Guess Who at Northerly Island?
Yes, I am. I'm going, and you told me that they wouldn't be able to get 75 or $100 a ticket. Eighth row, including parking, I paid 320, buddy, and that's from the venue.
Yeah, so I ended up getting tickets
Oh,
in
good.
the second section, and I think I paid 80.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Well,
wasn't bad.
I go to shows like twice a year, and I
Yeah,
really want to be close for these guys,
yeah.
especially with Randy Bachman sitting down now. And, but I've seen clips of them. Randy Bachman's 82, Burton's 79. They have not changed the key on more than a handful of songs out of the 25 or 30 they're going to play.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that is amazing. There's a
I,
little
s-
bit of what, excuse
I,
me?
I saw Randy Bachman last year at Elk Grove Village, and I mean, yeah, he was still singing. He did sit down, but he sounded really good. And I'd never seen Burton Cummings. And when you mentioned that tour was coming, I'm like, I'd like to see Burton Cummings before he dies.
Well, that's true. I saw him in Vegas one time at the Orleans, and this was maybe 10 years ago. We sat with a bunch of Canadians, and I know he's going to be there. He is a tremendous songwriter
Oh
from
yeah.
a chord and hook standpoint.
Yep.
Uh, he's just fantastic. So
Looking
he's
forward to it.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Me
All
too.
right. Now my questions.
Yes, sir.
So we'll start with Jay, then we'll go to Mitch.
Yep.
First concert you ever saw? Go
First
ahead, Jay.
concert I saw was, and it was also first time I smelled the evil weed. I did not inhale. It wasn't even close to me. Second to last row at the Erie Crown Theater in, I want to say, December 1973. It was Chicago when they used to come in every Thanksgiving and do a week of shows. And actually, there's a video from that show, them doing dialogue part one. And that was the first time I saw a Leslie speaker. I said, "What's that thing going around? Are they recording? So that was it.
Yeah, that's really cool. Man, the Erie Crown. It's been years since I've seen anything there.
There you go.
Mitch, how about you? What's your first concert?
First concert was Jeff Beck and Jan Hammer when they were together.
Wow. That's
Oh,
getting
And that was
progressive.
amazing.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, right off the bat, and we were like second row, and the PAs weren't very good back then, but their PA was phenomenal. It had such frequency response and everything. And to watch Jeff Beck play, this was when he was still using a Les Paul before he went to the Strat. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
What venue was that at?
Erie Crown.
Oh, it was Erie Crown. Wow. They're not doing anything at Erie Crown anymore.
Yeah.
Just the last time I saw anything at Erie Crown, I think it was Sheryl Crow on her like second or third album. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been there. I don't even remember. It's in McCormick Place, right? Isn't it?
right, exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll start with Jay on this one. We got only two more questions. This question I always like to ask because I'm always curious to see what people come up with. What was the worst concert you ever saw, or a concert you left and you were just disappointed? A band you wanted to see, you went to it, you walked out of there, and you said, "Man, that sucked."
I was forced to go see the Straubs one time, and this is after Rick Wakeman left. So this is early on. This is
Yeah.
74, 75.
Yeah.
And if I'm in a venue, even back then, where the sound is terrible, and if you're playing in some of these barns, like the old stadium or the field house in Iowa City, or Ames Auditorium in Des Moines, Iowa, it's just if you aren't in the first 20 rows, you aren't going to be able to hear much of anything. So
Yeah.
I lose interest real quick if I can't hear well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was it. But I've liked most everything. I just don't like when things go too long. That's all. Give me a 2.5 hour show. One of the greatest shows was a long one though, at the stadium. good friend of mine, used to get tickets in the first 10 rows at the stadium for in 1974-75. We were third row for opener was Jesse Colin Young and the Youngbloods.
Yeah.
And Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Third row, and they played 4 hours, and we got out of there at 2:30 in the morning. And that
I think my cousin Eli was at that show.
And it was unbelievable. The best concert I ever saw. All 4 of those guys took about a 20-minute solo set.
Wow.
All 4 of them.
Yeah. That was still kind of their format, even when they were just touring, the 3 of them, because they would do that. They'd all come out with the full band, play 5, 6, 7 songs, and then each one would do their solo stuff, and then the band would all come back to finish the show.
Right.
Mitch, you're up. Worst concert or most disappointing concert?
Yeah, let's go with disappointing. Robin Trower at the stadium.
Wow.
And the only reason I say that, I mean, I want to go to concerts to kind of watch and learn and see what they're going to do, maybe a little bit differently, because they're going to typically improvise at a live show.
Yeah.
The Robin Trower show was exactly note for note, beat for beat, like the live album. So it didn't learn anything, and the sound wasn't very good. And, I didn't walk out, but, at the end, we're just like, I could have been listening to this on my stereo.
Sound is so important. I mean, that has got to be the number one thing. Whether you're in a small venue, a small bar, or even a larger venue, whatever, one of the large outdoor sheds. I mean, if the sound sucks, I mean, that does ruin it. I mean, then sometimes that's not the band's fault. That's the venue's fault or the sound guy's fault for not being able to at least adjust. I mean, I know the World Music Theater. I'm actually going this weekend to see Santana and the Doobie Brothers, and I think Santana's going to play. I read a thing that he was pretty sick. I don't know how true that is, but anyway, it's the kickoff of the tour, and I remember those first couple years going to Tinley Park. The sound sucked. I mean, I was a Poplar Creek guy, so now I'm going to this larger place, and these box, those, sky boxes are metal and sounds bouncing off of it. And they couldn't figure it out. It's better now. I mean, the last couple times I've been there, it's been much better, but sound is the most important thing for sure.
It is.
And now for the last question. This is the one that everyone always likes to know about. So we're going to start with Mitch on this one. Mitch, Pop-Tarts, what's your opinion of them?
Pop-Tarts?
Yeah.
I was addicted to them for many years. I had to go to counseling, and then I got diabetes.
Oh,
thank you, Pop-Tarts, and your 1 billion carbs.
You're done now. No more Pop-Tarts.
So that's the end of that. How about that?
Pop-Tarts. Good. Wow. Sorry, Pop-Tarts. They're our sponsor.
What was your flavor of choice?
Oh, frosted brown sugar cinnamon. The most sugar you could put in 4 square inches.
And you don't have to toast them.
That's what she said.
Nope. Or 3.
Jay, how about you, buddy?
As a kid, ate them a lot and overcooked them and burned my tongue because they would come out of there like molten. And but brown sugar cinnamon was my favorite. I didn't even know they frosted them, but I can't have any of that stuff now. No, I'm trying to be a healthy person, so
it's a smart move.
Yeah, well.
Jay and Mitch, man, thanks for hanging with us on the Hogpod, man. What a great show.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Song. Yeah, we'll be getting on with that. We're trying to find,
well,
that's on the wall.
If somebody wants to get in touch with you, Jay or Mitch, how do they get a hold of you? Hey, I like AI. I know how to play music. I want to help you guys out. Where do they go?
Well, they can go to the YouTube channel and they can leave a comment and we can talk to them there, and they can send an email to us through the YouTube channel. That'd probably be the best way to get a hold of us.
All right, and I'll put something here, and then we'll talk post later, Jay.
All right.
Get this going. And look, man, we're gonna have you guys back on again. Open invite. The next song that you do, let me know. Pop it up, and it's it's as much about the music you produced as the experience and what you learned going along the way and passing that knowledge on to others to have them do. I think that'll something new in the scene, man, because the Guess Who's only going to be around so long. We
This is the last tour, dude.
I wouldn't be so sure. They've already talked about it next year, God willing, for the Canadians. But yeah, we'll see. We just want to. I don't know if Mitch and I have a style yet. But we're going to whatever style or genre it seems to be, because we like all music. I mean, yeah. I could even saying, what can Suno do with classical? What can Suno do with blues? What can it do with fusion? I think fusion would make it blow up. So that's where we're going to be trying to do something maybe a little different on our next one, but we'll see what it is. I have no idea. I got to find a hook. I got to find a hook before we do anything.
And I'll leave this with all the haters out there that are cover bands that are regurgitating somebody else's music, but they'll turn their nose up at AI. I bid you adieu.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Okay.